Namaskar and welcome to another episode of the Love and Light Talk Show. I'm your host, Jayshree Shrikant, and I come to you with another super soul. Now, why she's super soul? You will find out very soon because she is amazing and she has these awe-inspiring stories which are all set to leave you feeling happier and definitely more enriching your lives with these stories. That's nothing else that I want more for you. Of course, this show is all about people who walk this life on earth, but they have these beautiful roles that they've taken on, and each role bringing you something special. So let me talk to you about our guest today. Her name is lovely Vinod. She's a gifted psychic, but more importantly, she is a designer as well, performing artist, Zumba instructor, and a mother who's also expecting baby number 2. But what truly makes her a super soul is her journey from depression and suicidal thoughts to becoming one of the most powerful mediums in the world. Lovely, welcome, and thank you so much for taking time to be on the show today.
Thank you so much, Jayshree. Thanks for having me, and thanks for such a lovely introduction.
Oh my goodness, you deserve way more than this. Now, lovely, discovered you have psychic abilities. Can you walk us through what is your earliest memory, or how did you get into discovering this gift about you?
Okay, so it's a little long story, but I'll try to make it a little short. So I was never a gifted kid. I was always curious though. I mean, I was that kid who would love ghost stories, like most of them. Yeah. People would tell me there's something spooky out there in that house, let's go see. So I was that kind of kid. And I always was inquisitive about bigger things, but then I didn't know they were called spiritual, or there was something called quantum physics, or, we didn't know those things. So that's my earliest memories of how I was. I was different, and which was difficult as a child because not everyone gets you. So that's a memory. I was very sensitive. I was very emotional. So I was this person who won't have many friends because they don't get what she says. Yeah. But I was never gifted in a way. I mean, I never had imaginary friends, or I couldn't see spirits. But yes, I've tried the Ouija board, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So that's the earliest memory. Then as I grew up, thanks to my life's lessons, and around 7 to 8 years of severe depression, I was never diagnosed from a psychiatrist or medically diagnosed, because even I wasn't aware that was called depression. Or later when I became a mother, I didn't know there's something called postpartum depression, which was a part of these 7 years.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
but that was something that pushed me into my spiritual journey and this quest of finding how to heal me.
Right.
That was what I was looking for. I never thought that. I always wondered, looking at all these mediums. Oh wow, that's amazing how they do it. They talk to spirits, But I never thought that would bring in healing. So as I started learning, I found a community called Channeling Erik. It is a famous blog. Mm-hmm. Erik is the guy who pushed his mom into starting this blog.
Yeah.
He's a 20-year-old guy who committed suicide.
I actually have a class with Erik next week.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Alita, his mom, she started this blog, and I used to find everything. I used to learn things from automatic writing to everything related to that. That's how I stumbled upon his video.
Oh, wow.
And I was hooked into it. Mm-hmm. And that's when I was learning automatic writing. Mm-hmm. I didn't have a specific message, and I must tell you, now I have a 6-step way how to do that on my YouTube channel, but that time it was very difficult for me because it took a lot of patience. Mm-hmm. And then one day I ended up, when I started receiving these words, it started with letters and words. I wrote Erik's name, who is actually one of my spirit guides now.
Wow.
He's one of my biggest teachers. So I still didn't know what I was channeling, and I didn't even know whether I was actually channeling. I just thought I'm writing my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Then I booked a reading with a psychic medium who was also a channeling Erik medium. She told me I'm writing Erik's name because he's one of my guides and I should look more into it.
Right, right.
So, and that's when I realized that I could channel. And before I wrote Erik's name, I used to write this foreign dialect, which I later on came to know that was light language, which I was channeling. So I have these pages, one whole thick book full of these
God.
pages with foreign language.
Lord.
You know, it's like mostly symbols and drawings, which are amazing. Thankfully, I never resisted it because it was, I used to almost feel sleepy or relaxed. So it helped me.
Yes.
You know, it used to relax me. That's what I always tell people. It doesn't matter what it does to you.
No.
So that's how it started. And then Erik, when I started conversing more with him, he helped me open up more gifts that actually everyone has.
Yeah.
You know, we all have those gifts, but all we need is a good teacher, little practice, and that belief. I've spent years trusting and believing in myself because we always question our own gifts.
Yeah.
Then later on, clairvoyance and clairaudience. Clairaudience was the immediate next one which I got. You know, I could hear spirits, not outside of me, but in my head mostly. But that's one of the most clear expressions of spirit communication that came to me. So then it went to another step that I took it personally because I thought, no, this is my calling and it brings amazing healing to people.
And it's
so that's how I started.
And it's so exciting. You're discovering these gifts within you. I mean,
yes.
Oh, this is, I mean, I got goosebumps just hearing your story because this is, all of us, like when I think about it, and especially when I hear stories from like you, people don't realize they just go to work 9 o'clock in the morning to 5, the days are so mundane. And you ask them, how's your day? Yeah, same old, but they don't realize they're not able to tap into what is their real potential.
Yes, and they're not actually able to tap into their own power, which even I realized when I was told constantly, no, you have it in you. So they just need a reminder.
They need a reminder, and they're like you said, belief.
Oh yes,
belief. Oh my gosh. So automatic writing, I'm going to link the description that Lovely has. I'm going to put her link, the one you just mentioned, right? The 6th step. I'll put that in the description box. So, I mean, listen, if you're watching the show, like take as much as you can. That's what I'm going to say. Take as much as you can. I don't want it to be just a show you listen and you go back to your life doing whatever you're doing. I mean, really try and implement these beautiful words of knowledge that Lovely is giving us today. So a little bit more on what Lovely does. Okay, so she helps her clients in receiving guidance from spirit by translating these messages into simple, understandable language. Now, apart from this, she can also obviously channel spirits, guides, angels, and I'm very interested in this, intergalactic beings. So we call them aliens, but I think, aren't we aliens to them too?
Yes, we are. That's what I tell my daughter all the time because she asks me, "Oh, Mama, aliens would look weird." No, maybe we might look weird to them.
Well, like, look at that hair. Why do they all have different hair? Why do some have hair and some don't?
I know. It's how it's been portrayed in, media and the movies. So we don't know.
Because that is their normal. Now, the light language. So you're a light language channeler. Now, would you say it sort of came hand in hand? When did you start understanding that this is an actual language, like this has some meaning?
Yes, it has a specific meaning and more. I mean, when I'm saying and more, means it is actually not bound by the time and space. I mean, if I'm channeling a light language for you now, even if you hear it like 10 years from now, it will be specific to what you need at that time.
Oh my gosh.
Almost it's like customized to say so that beautiful. And you can set an intention and receive it.
Just, I wanted to tell everybody. So Lovely, we were supposed to tape yesterday, and I was having a sore throat for a whole week. I was suffering, and Lovely sent me a message. It was the light language audio clip from my higher self, and believe it or not, and again, I'm going to tell you, you believe it or not, but when I heard it, the pain literally disappeared. And then I heard it again when it came back, or was trying to come back. I woke up today morning, nothing. I have no pain. My voice is fantastic. I have no cough. So this is real, my friends. This is real. And it is the first time I even heard about light language yesterday. First time. But again,
yeah, that's why I had sent an explanation that this is what it is, because it almost sounds gibberish when you hear it.
Mine had had an African
Yes.
to it.
Because it was singing too. Sometimes it comes with the singing, and sometimes mostly tones. So it's in different forms.
But also because I'm from Africa, I said, this makes sense.
Oh yeah, so it was sounding familiar to you.
It really was. Now, what do you feel is the biggest stigma surrounding depression? And then we'll touch on postpartum depression as well, especially in India.
In India, it's actually not specific to India. The worst part about depression, what even I have felt, and which makes it difficult for the person who is suffering, is the fact that it is so subtle. It doesn't look like a disease. It's not visible. Because even when you are depressed chronically, you might go out for a party, have fun with your friends, and come back and have a really, you are sobbing and crying in your house. So that's one thing that makes it so difficult for the family to understand. First thing, because there's even now in India also, I mean, I don't know, in the US maybe now people are a little more aware, but here it's very difficult. Now they have these suicide helplines, which is a good thing that's happening. But still, I do not think people are so comfortable that they can just walk to their parents or siblings and tell them, no, this is what I want to do. I'm depressed and I feel like I should be taking my life. It's not that easy. So it needs a lot of work. So that's one thing, that's the biggest stigma, and what it makes it is so subtle, and it's like slow poison.
Yeah.
Kills you from within, and you cannot speak up, and nobody would even know.
What advice would you give now? Especially I see a lot of youngsters, high schoolers, or even going into university. They're the ones really, have depression. What advice would you give to a parent, like how to help that child? Like the first step, what to do? What should they do? And for the child also, how can somebody who's watching and it does feel like they're having some kind of depression, what advice would you give right now to them to start the process to healing or to getting better?
Actually, to a certain extent, and I'm saying to a certain extent because I know these things doesn't heal depression, but they would definitely help them tackle it. Is try to find something that physically tires you. Like if you like sports, because it takes up all the energy, it actually exhausts you.
Yeah.
I have a lot of clients who have these things. So that's one thing, even their guides always tell them, take up something which is physically exhausting. If you like dance, maybe that. But I know not everybody can do that. But if you have an option, you could do that, because that helps with the sleep, because nights are terrible.
Okay.
When you're lying on the bed, and especially with depression, everybody is like resting, and suddenly they feel their whole world crumbling down. Because I remember still every morning when I had the toughest time, and I had hit rock bottom, every morning when I used to wake up, I used to feel, why did I wake up?
Oh wow.
I shouldn't have woken up. I'm getting goosebumps, and this makes me emotional because that was exhausting. I just wanted to go back to bed because sleeping helped. But I just could sleep, maybe a few hours in the morning.
Maybe even 3 or 4 hours.
Yes. And secondly, it's it's very easy to tell a person, you should get out of the house, you should talk to friends. No, but that doesn't help. They're actually trying. Getting out of the bed takes an effort for a depressed person. Making a cup of tea, eating, even smiling, talking to the person sitting in front of. So that and all is an effort.
It's an
If
effort.
they're doing that, that means they're putting an effort. So as a parent, all that you can do for your child is, make them fearless to come to you. However big that's what I've been trying to do. I won't say I've been like very good at it, but I'm a very strict mother, and when it comes to cleanliness and all those things. But I'm always scared of the feeling that one day if my daughter does something, breaks something, she shouldn't be so fearful that she cannot come and tell me.
Yeah.
And that's something that I'm constantly working on. So I guess that's the only thing you can do, because outside the world that they go into, the peer pressure, the world they live in, age issues, you cannot control that.
You cannot control it.
So all that you can do is just be available.
And this world is a tough world. I mean, let's be honest about it.
Yes. And also, when you say that, I also feel that in India, I think it's much better in that aspect in the US and the Western countries, that after a point, the kids have to be independent. In India, we are brought up very safe.
Yes.
Mom will cook for us. And there's a disparity between girls and boys.
Family thing is very important. And very important point you brought up.
Yes.
Here it's like, okay, you're old. Bye-bye.
Yeah. They have to give you, we do that to our daughter, which is very difficult sometimes when they're little, making them do chores.
Yeah.
For nothing. You can't pay them for doing chores. They have to do, because after a point they'll have to do.
Absolutely.
And so we should just give them
like challenges. Basically chill.
Yeah. Right. Just let them be. It's okay if they fall. And here we are, like in India, we are like keeping them very safe.
I did notice that. I was in Delhi last year and I was with my kids at 2:00 in the afternoon in the playground. Not a single child. I said, all these kids. 6:00 in the evening when the sun has gone down, only then they're all coming out. Why?
Yes.
Oh, don't want the kids to get tanned. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yes.
You're denying these kids the sunshine.
And that's why the low immunity and other things, and they don't know how to deal.
It's okay. Let's get them, get tanned. It's fine.
I know.
You have a black kid entering your house. It's okay.
I know. So that's why now deficiency of vitamin D is a very common thing. It's a problem. Yeah.
Basic vitamin D. But having said that, here too, I don't see kids playing outside. Everyone's just at home. You say quarantine, I don't see any difference. Even if there was no quarantine, these kids are not outside playing.
And thanks to all the mobile phones and the gadgets.
It's insane. Yeah. So if you're listening, you have to consciously set aside technology and say, hey guys, let's go outside. Let's go for a walk. No matter how cold or whatever it may be, just head outside.
Yes.
Play with your kids. This is a huge problem. I'm also guilty. We get so we forget about these little things. Now, in fact, coming to my next question, which is completely connected, is now we're seeing firsthand that the world is truly losing its grip on emotions. Love is replaced with hatred. Admiration is replaced with jealousy. Jealousy even within your own family, go figure. Now, do you feel there's something fundamentally wrong with the way we are raising our children, maybe? Do you see a disparity?
Oh, yes. That's one thing that nobody understands. They are, all they're bothered about is grades and how much the child is achieving and all that. I'm not saying I'm a perfect mother, but this is one thing which is very important in my house, that my child has to understand the emotion. Even if they get grumpy. So I'm like, no, it's fine if you're grumpy, but you should know why you're grumpy. You should understand your emotions and you should be able to express them. Emotional intelligence is such a, nobody teaches that to a child.
Yeah.
Then they grow old, then they don't get it.
Right.
Then when another person is involved, whether it's their spouse or girlfriend or boyfriend or the boss, and then they get more hurt because they don't understand how to deal with
Right.
whatever they are feeling.
Right.
So that's one thing that's ignored in parenting, as if it's not it's a life skill actually.
It is.
Understanding your own emotions, and even anger being fine. Kids are not allowed to be angry.
Very interesting. You just said they're not allowed to be angry. They're not allowed to be even sad.
Yes, I mean, you can't cry. Why are you crying? Because I'm not ready for it. Because I've been dealing with
Oh
all
my
these
God, I
things.
can't believe you just said that. Yeah, I'm not ready. That's very important. I'm not ready to deal with that emotion. So
Yes.
I'll tell you something. We were at a birthday party couple before COVID happened, and before there's this game. I don't know if you remember as kids, pass the parcel. Do you remember that game?
Yes.
There's always
Yes.
one winner, right? This was
Mm-hmm.
the strangest pass the parcel I have ever seen in my life. Okay, every time the ball stopped and the person is supposed to get out, that kid is getting a gift.
Oh, so
Every
they don't feel bad?
I was like, wait, has something changed in this game? She says, I don't want any of the
So
children.
nobody loses. See,
Yeah,
that's smart. Yeah. So they will never know the defeat or taking defeat,
no,
in a good way. Yeah.
no.
That's
And
what we
then,
do.
and then this, this money hungry, you're creating these kids and talking about money and oh, you need to make, no, just let them grow up and follow their paths.
Yes.
Money is not everything.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, it's just a tool.
It's a
I
tool.
mean, you need money, but it's just a tool. That's not. It doesn't make you happy
It does not
eventually.
define you,
Yeah. Right.
right? So we are making mistakes. So please, 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 these are things, just consciously do them, I think raise loving children, give a lot of love and raise them to love animals, raise them to love even just nature and be grateful for everything,
Yes.
you know?
And actually very difficult, Jeshri, because as a parent, it's a constant struggle because you have to be available.
Mhm.
But at the same time, when you're taking a time out as a mother,
Mhm.
you have to make them understand that it's fine. I will not be always available because I am loving my own time also. That's where you teach them self-love. So it's a very fine line. It's a constant struggle, but yes, we do learn and get better with the years, right? And with the number of children we have. Yeah.
And a mistake I'm seeing also, a lot of moms, not so much the dads, the moms are constantly like almost breathing down the neck of their kids, like, go let your kid play, let them get dirty, let them go play with mud,
Yes.
get their hands into, like, they don't have to be super clean and super perfect all the time. This constantly, I need to know what my child is doing. No, let them be. Again, self-love, and that's how they learn. Self-love.
Yes. Right.
Wow. Now we come to so I'll tell you how I found Lovely, because I'm a huge sort of, I don't want to say activist, but I'm following Sushant Singh's case very closely, and I chanced upon Lovely's video, which was so nice. So Lovely, of course, you are able to tap into his energy. You are able to tap into anything you feel you want to share with anyone about what is happening in his case right now and where we can see it going. Yeah, if you can just shed some light on just him.
When we were talking about Sushant, so Sushant is here already. I can
Hey,
feel his
Sushant.
energy, and that's also because he's actually like Erik. I must tell you, everybody, if people from channeling Erik
Very
follow us,
similar.
they're watching.
Mm.
His energy and Erik's energy is very similar. So he's always ready. It's almost like a friend in the corner who would always come and say hi.
Mm.
And he's just come with another reminder that's also there in my video, that when I channeled him, he says, talk more, express more, smile more. So that's just it's sort of like a reminder, because he comes again with the message. That's what people need. People need communication and emotional communication, you know. And he's like, I'm waiting for this COVID thing to go away so that everybody's hugging more. You know, physical intimacy, that touch that heals people.
Yeah.
So that's his message for everybody who's
But
watching.
here's the whole problem now. You know, people are so scared even to hi-fi.
Oh yes,
You know?
yes. Fear is it could take time to,
Yes.
you know.
But I agree with Sushant. Like, people don't smile enough. Everywhere you go, everyone's like, okay, right now they're masked. But even if somebody's masked, you know, when you smile, you can see it in the eyes. Your
Yes, and
eyes like
small
change.
talk. Nobody's making a small talk these
No
days.
one's making small
Yeah,
talk. It's like everything's like time. Okay, time. I have 5 seconds. All right, quickly, what do you have to say?
yes,
The whole thing is, and like Sushant was, you know, you could see through his life too.
yes,
He had so much love to give.
yeah.
He did not see money. He did not see race. He did not see caste, creed, all that stuff. He just saw the human. You're a
Mm-hmm.
human.
Yes. He's impacted, you know, many lives, and that was his contract, that as he goes, he would impact a huge number of people, which is very much visible around the world. You know.
You know, Sadhguru recently, he said that the last 40 seconds of your death, if it's very bad, that's actually very good, because you're actually removing all your karma, which brought me to Sushant's thing. I know he suffered hell of a lot, like suffered in his last few moments. That was actually good for his karma. You know, it's like, I feel like it just burnt everything. Good for him. But it was, I mean, it's sad on one end,
Yeah.
uh, but it elevated him. But yes, hug your kids, hug your friends, smile, and live
Yeah.
your life through honesty and integrity, I feel.
Yes. Yes. Definitely.
Lovely, what do you feel about CBI? Do you think they're going to see this through with integrity as well, and doing the best they can do? What do you feel?
Uh, I have to be very honest in that. You know, if you ask me, not as a psychic medium, as a
I just,
person,
mhm.
I don't have trust in any of these things,
Yeah,
because
they're human.
I feel where there are like 5 or 10 people involved, I don't know, I should be positive, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of chaos in every department. So I don't know what, you know, he says, Sushant says that eventually it will come out, and whatever happens will be for the universal good, but you don't know what that is. But
Um,
I don't have any hopes specifically
Sushant,
in the
so
as
just
well.
a question to Sushant, when does he see, like in 2021 or maybe end of this year, when does he see like this, maybe his case closing, like the universal good happening? When does he see that, like in our time?
He's almost, yeah, he's almost giving me a feeling like within a month, no, it won't come out.
Okay,
Within
okay.
a month, a lot of things would come up, but there will be a backseat after that.
Mm.
Maybe things won't. I mean, yeah, maybe the media would get something better to talk about, or sort of that sort of thing. You know, it will be a little. There will be a hush, hush, or maybe it will be happening in the inside of,
Mm.
you know, these, whether it's CBI or the police, but it won't be out there for a couple of months.
Which is fine,
Then,
I think. Which is fine,
yeah,
I
which
think.
is fine. Then there might be a breakthrough, but still he's not giving me something like, you know, like a clarity, like
Mm-hmm.
what exactly happened coming out. That won't happen is what I'm getting right now. Let's see
Okay,
how it goes.
let's see. Well, we're sending him so many prayers always. um 2020 is almost coming to an end. Do you see anything else happening for us? Like, what is remaining in this year?
Okay,
Oh
so
my
this,
God.
this is, yeah, this is my guides telling, this is Erik and other guides. This is from Gaia, the
Mhm.
Mother Earth as well. She's almost like she's almost making me feel like her resting phase is over,
No,
because when people were inside, she was like, you know,
I can see
liking the
dancing.
air, yes, dancing. the birds, the animals, and everything from the flora and fauna was flourishing.
Mm.
She's happy at the time, as also because she said this was the whole purpose of COVID was cleansing and bringing light into all the things that you're not doing, like family time and all those things.
Yeah.
But now she's almost laughing, like, I know you're done with all the family time that you've been doing for all these months.
She's laughing.
So I'm getting another 2 months, things would start getting much better in another 2 months.
Okay.
Which is a good thing to know.
I mean,
probably end of the year, 2021 won't be bad, is what I'm getting. That's
I think the masking will continue. I think the masking will continue, but people will be moving.
It is almost like it would blend in, and which makes sense, Jayashree, because see, I don't want to be too much controversial, because even COVID is like a flu, like a viral fever that you get. And when you're going out shopping, you're actually not constantly thinking, oh, the guy next to me, is he having a flu?
Yeah, true.
You don't do that, right?
No.
So it would become like another illness. Like people are not constantly thinking about cancer or getting AIDS or HIV positive, right? It has to become like that. Then only the fear would reduce.
It's something we're going to just have to live with.
Yes, and it is not that bad as what I'm getting.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
It's quite blown up.
It is blown up.
It is definitely contagious.
That's what media does. Media blows up.
Yes, it's contagious just like any other flu. That's the message.
So I wanted to tell you a little bit about my trip to Sedona last year. I was in Arizona, and so Sedona is this very interesting place. They have like these energy vortexes, okay? And there was a woman, she was standing on the rocks and her hands were like flowing and flashing signs. And then later on I realized, now when I think back, I was like, oh my God, she was doing probably light channeling. So
she was channeling light language.
When you do it too, do your hands also move?
It's actually, I do that very rarely. It's actually a combination. Like the audio file that I sent you had a certain amount of singing, right?
It's so beautiful.
I started writing it. Later on, vocals came up. Then I started singing. But hand gestures also come in very rarely to me. But there are people like the woman that you mentioned who use these because they are very specific symbols that they make in the air.
Yeah.
Which have power and which, because we don't see them, it's almost like Japanese calligraphy, how you draw. If you've been, if you've known about Reiki, they have these symbols.
Yes, we have the symbols.
When they healing, so that's what they do. They make the symbols in the air, the imaginary.
I did Reiki 1, but I need to.
Yes. So in Reiki 2, they teach you the symbols, and so that's visually done in front of you. You're just imagining, you don't see it. Same way, the hand movements are like that. So people dance and all sorts of light languages there.
It's beautiful. In fact, when I was listening to the audio, it was reminding me of J.R. Tolkien. Did you watch Lord of the Rings? They have like a whole language, the Elven language.
I haven't.
Oh my God!
I haven't. I've seen just one part of it. I mean, just the first movie. But I don't remember. Do they have these dialects?
Yes, and that's what, when I think about it, I feel like he was almost channeling the language, because it's very, when you listen to it, it leaves you feeling happier. There's something about it. I feel like that language, maybe if people look into it a bit more deeply, there's something there about it being light language.
Yeah, there could be truth to that, because like if you talk about the movie Avatar,
same
the
thing.
guy. Yeah, he saw the whole concept in a dream, in a lucid dream, rather. So that's how he got the idea, the director or the producer, if I'm not wrong.
See that?
Yeah.
And if you look at Avatar, it shows exactly like there is another.
And there are cat beings. They are actually cat beings. There are, beings like that. They're very beautiful.
Very beautiful.
So you never know.
Yeah, you'll think, oh, this idea came in my head, and it just, no.
Yes.
It is a
hint of reality. Yes.
Yes.
And also, I must tell you, Jayashree, when you were talking about, you told me that you were from Africa. You also have African ancestry. in down the line, you had ancestors
Me?
from Africa. Yes, you have. That's what my guys are telling right now.
Wait, I'm not pure Indian?
No, it's
That
like actually
explains
far.
my hair. That explains my hair.
It's like far down the line. Even maybe your grandma won't know.
Yeah.
And they were healers. That's why you were intrigued into these things.
Yes.
They were healers. I would explain. Like I had a very strong ancestry of shamans, the shamanic healers.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, so that's there. That makes sense why I got into healing.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do have same kind of ancestry, which
That makes
is fun.
so much sense. Which is why even the light language had an undertone of the African language to it.
Yes, and maybe that's why you could feel it, because it's just not the mind that gets it, your soul understands.
Oh my gosh. Tell Erik I said hi. He's such a prankster.
Yes, he's actually, now these days he's like dancing with all the namaste pose and doing the Indian thing and all that.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell him to do like this.
Can you do that?
Shambhavi Mahamudra.
He's actually holding two fingers together. He's not doing this. That's okay. It doesn't matter.
Tell him to learn some moves from Sushant. Sushant can dance. Tell him to learn.
Yeah. Erik is talking about acupressure when we did those mudras, how it affects.
Oh, is it? I'm sure they have something, because I know that these are pressure points. So
yes, yeah.
Everything is a science. Everything is a beautiful science.
Yes.
In fact, I wanted to tell everybody. So, man, you're pregnant. So otherwise, I was going to say we should have done like a dance Zumba at the end of the session.
I can dance. I don't mind. I dance all the time. I love.
So do you want to play something we can just follow? Oh, but it's night for you.
We can do that. And yeah, you want me to play a song?
Okay, then hold on. Let me just pause the recording so that I can let you set up. Okay, guys, we're going to be this is a special one for Sushant.
It's funny because I'm going to be sitting and dancing, because not that I can't move, but then the camera angle won't capture my movements.
I'm just going to follow you. I'm literally following you. Guys, everybody, This is lovely Vinod, and a beautiful Zumba instructor.
Shall I play? Tell me if you can hear the sound.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Is that good?
Oh my God, I love it. Thank you so much.
It was so funny. Like I was like sitting somewhere where my legs are stuck, but yeah, this was good. Moving always helps. Clearing the energy.
Oh, so dancing is the best thing. That is my meditation.
Yes, it is. It really helps.
This is one of his best songs. I never get bored of it. And you know what's interesting? This has like a Zumba feel, so you can totally do Zumba steps in it.
Yes, I was actually doing Zumba steps more. That's a flaw with the Zumba instructor. You end up doing all the Zumba steps in the Bollywood songs also.
And you won't believe, for me it's like the same thing. Because I'm a Bolly fit instructor, so when I listen to Zumba, I start doing like the Indian steps.
Yes.
The brain is just
but it's
wired.
a great combination. Yeah.
I wish you lived nearby. We would have been.
We could do Zumba together.
I don't know if you guys know this, but Lovely, is a great cook as well. And so are you a designer too? Like, do you like interior designing, or what is it?
No, I started with sari designing. I mean, I love the saris, and now I don't wear them often, but I have a nice collection of saris. So I just learned a little bit. I didn't do fashion designing as a course, but I loved colors and embroidery and all those things.
I'm so sure if you went into it, you'd be amazing.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. So I had this small online store where I used to sell the saris that I manufactured from scratch, and I didn't have a crew or a team. So I used to do it like on my own, and people started liking from friends. So I thought, why not put a store? And yeah, that was one thing that I did. Meanwhile, I was
actually helping a lot of artisans too. Hand looms, you're actually helping them too.
Yes, and I've seen that Indian embroidery has a lot of demand in the West.
So much demand, and it's a lot of work. It's a hell of a lot of work.
Yes, it is, because the hand embroidery takes a hell lot of time, and it's a very physically tiring job. But the sad thing is, the artisan, they don't get paid when you think of the cost that's actually being paid for the end product.
Yeah,
that's a sad thing.
They're just getting like the minimal salary. They have no even idea like how much those the products are getting sold at.
Yes.
And this world, the world we live in. Any final words before we end? Lovely. It was so lovely. It was so lovely.
Thank you so much. It was fun talking to you. It's actually, you were right. We are like soul sisters because we are having so many things in common. And I have to tell you that I am not a very good cook, but I make sure that I click a picture whenever I cook.
That is me too. I'm like, I'll make 5 not so great dishes. Then that one dish which is good, I'm like, okay, Instagram, hello, be ready.
Yes, but yes, I'm a good cook in the sense if I'm tasting something, I would know what's gone into it.
Yes.
So that's come from my genes.
No, we're like, listen, it will taste good. It may not taste.
Yes. Yes, but cooking is not therapy, but I enjoy clicking pictures.
I'm exactly the same. The same. Yeah, I don't enjoy the process.
No, I cannot, I would rather learn something creative or learn how to see spirits, which I don't do now. I mean, I don't see them with my naked eye yet. So that's something that I'm working, like trance channeling and all those things.
Yes.
That's amazing. So I would rather learn that.
I went to a class with Jamie Butler. She was the one who, it was through Jamie actually that I was introduced to.
Yes, me too. I always used to look at Jamie and I was like, oh, this is fun. I wish I could do that.
She's something else.
She's amazing. And she does it with so much ease.
Yeah, look at her. She's like,
yes.
She's like, and then you could see her third eye, because the third eye is open. She's just like, yeah, so this one here, this one is here.
Yeah, and she's given a lot of years to it, and she's worked with the fear. I mean, she's talked in a lot of interviews of her that how she used to be scared as a child because she was gifted.
She was gifted, yeah.
She's worked a lot.
She's born with this.
Yes.
So I went to a class with her. So she trans-channeled Maitland,
yes, that's her guy.
And the other guy too, who's Irish, I think. So it was very
great. Yeah.
Grace. Yes. Grace. And wow. So trans channeling, right? That'd be great.
Yeah. So I've done that a couple of times, but the letting go is the issue. But I know eventually it would come up, and I constantly, ask my guys why I'm not getting to do that. But now I get it. Maybe it's not the time, and right now I don't need it.
It will happen.
The day has to come. Yeah, it will come. Hopefully. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm actually gonna pause it, okay, and then I'll say bye to you. So thank you so much, lovely, and catch us next time for another episode of the Love and Light Talk Show.